of your cosplays for this.
Oh, oh,
Uh,
that's
oh,
awesome. Thank you.
oh, hey guys. Sorry. I should have played start, but anyways, hello there. This is Krueger with a Thought. This is Kyle Krueger of Krueger with a Dot. Your lovely host, and today we have a cosplayer today named Mink.
Hi, I'm Mink.
So, Mink, I wanted to ask you a lot of questions.
I would like to answer a lot of questions. I'm a talker, so this is all great.
This is so exciting. Okay.
Hi.
All right. So, what? Okay. So, how did you get into cosplaying?
So this is a delightful question. I usually preface when I tell people about oh yeah, cosplay. I feel like I got into cosplay from this weird back door, which makes no sense until I give this. That's my preface, and now I'm going to turn around and explain it. So I started doing anything similar to cosplay by doing LARPing, which is live action roleplay, and it's what I do is I go out in the woods and I pretend to be a character for an entire weekend, and interact with other people who are pretending to be a character that they come up with for the entire weekend. And it's lovely and fun, and it's just, it's a good time all around. Spoilers, when I LARP, the LARP that I've been at the longest is this LARP I've been doing for 10 years, where I play Mink, who is a satyr. So you can kind of see my LARP roots into cosplay. So I had been doing that for 10 years, and eventually, from pretending to be a character for a weekend and dressing up and making my own costumes, it was a really quick and easy jump to then pretend to be a character from a TV show or movie and or book that I really enjoy.
That's awesome.
No, I'm glad you think so.
So what's
I'm just an uber nerd. It's all good.
We're all nerds. It's just people like to judge us. But can I also want to ask you what characters do you cosplay as?
What characters do I cosplay as? If I had to narrow it to one word, it would be Pokemon.
I love Pokemon.
I'm on a kick. I've got to cos them all.
So,
but
even the bad
I
ones?
to mostly do video game characters. That's my favorite.
Oh, okay. So, do you cosplay as bad Pokemon?
As bad Pokemon, lame ones, yes.
The
lame ones get the most love from me.
Wow, Teddy, you're
so this summer I cosplayed as Caterpie. Not Butterfree, Caterpie, the level 1 bug, the first bug you get in the game. And I was I don't want to do a cutesy Caterpie. I want this Caterpie to be Sub-Zero meets a bug.
That's pretty awesome. I like this imagination. I have an idea for a cosplay for you.
All right, let's hear it.
Beedrill.
Yes, I'm in. My summer cosplay of Caterpie came about because I had a friend who was new to cosplay and she wanted to do more of it, and she had her heart set on being Butterfree. So for the longest time I was thinking I would do Beedrill with her, and that was my original intent, was to do Beedrill, but I got more and more people really buzzing. Ha 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 ha. I got a lot of buzz with my cosplay friends to join in and do this big Pokemon bug group.
Oh,
and so
I love bug Pokemon.
It was great because then I had a friend, Super Savage is his cosplay identity. He decided he wanted to do Metapod, and so I was oh, well then I'll do Caterpie and we'll round out the team. And so that's why I had switched. Originally my plan was to do Beedrill.
Right.
But I had to make a
decision.
7th inning switch.
So I think I have an idea. Maybe your Beedrill will be either a warrior princess or
yes, 100%.
Or a warrior ninja princess.
Oh.
That's
ninja princess.
Yeah, I'm one of those imaginative people.
Yeah, no, I dig it. I definitely like the idea. I mean, no matter what happens for a Beedrill cosplay, you gotta have like 2 giant like drill lances. Like that's what I like. No matter what happens, the lances with like the big drills on them, that's gotta happen. But if you did like a bamboo shoot drill, then you could take that warrior thing and bring it into like, you know, borrow some themes from like that ninja culture, and then you got a party. This is how cosplays start. I swear to God, I've come up with like equally as delightful costumes from equally as casually passing conversation.
Cool. So okay, so you cosplay as Raven from Teen Titans?
Yeah, that was a recent one.
Dude, you're an awesome Raven. Like,
oh, thank you.
Like, I love Raven. Beast Boy is my favorite DC hero of all time.
So Beast Boy is I need to backtrack. Robin is my favorite. Dick Grayson and Robin is my favorite DC hero, but of the Teen Titans, even though Robin's in the Teen Titans, Beast Boy is my favorite Titan. And I have a friend who wanted to cosplay as Beast Boy.
And then you cosplay as Raven.
And his favorite Titan is Raven. And so I was like, oh, I'll totally do a Raven with you. And so that's entirely how it came about, was that the two of us were like, let's cosplay each other's favorite. And then we could be our favorite, like, one true pairing.
I love the ship Beast Boy and Raven.
Oh my God. It's my favorite ship of the series. Full well knowing that it's canonical that Starfire and Robin are like a thing.
Right. It's just that I like the polar opposite relationship between them.
Oh my God, I hear you on that. I firmly believe in the opposites attract because, listen, I like me. I live inside of me. I know what me is capable of, but I can handle exactly one of me. If I have to have a second of me, we're done. We're done here. I need something different. So opposites attract. Oh,
okay. So I also wanted to ask you, like, what's your favorite convention stories?
Oh, man. Okay, I have easily a favorite convention story because it was like this amazing moment. And I feel like it has a bunch of like, it's like a high upon a high upon a high. So there I was, New York Comic-Con, wasn't 2017. It was New York Comic-Con 2016. I was dressed up as Pearl from Steven Universe.
Nice.
And I took it upon myself to do 2 things. The first thing I did was I made a buttload of Steven Universe pins. Like little buttons. They were maybe like an inch big buttons. And I gave them out to like anyone who was around. But at the time, there was an episode that had recently come out where Pearl awarded Pearl Points. There were little stickers with her face on them.
Oh.
She awarded Pearl Points to Steven and Connie while they were training. So anytime I found a Steven or Connie cosplayer, I gave them a pin of Pearl Points. So I gave like a pin with Pearl's face on it to those cosplayers. So I've been doing that a lot on the expo floor because that's where all of the cosplayers and just like people were.
Oh.
And as I'm doing this, just like, you know, random people who were stopping to say hi, people who were, you know, complimenting the costume or taking pictures. I'm like, hey, do you want free stuff? And they're like, yes, we do. We're at a Comic-Con. Why else are we here if not for free things?
Well, I go to Comic-Con just to have fun, not to get free stuff.
Right. We're all here for free things. That's what we're here for. So this girl comes up to me, and she goes, I really like your costume, but I don't really like Steven Universe. And I'm like, that's okay. She's like, well, it's not that I don't like it. I just haven't watched it. And I was like, don't worry about it. She's like, no, the reason why I say this is because I won a raffle to meet the cast of Steven Universe, but it really doesn't mean anything to me. Would you like to go? And I was just like, I'm sorry, what? Like, yes, I would very much like to go.
Oh my God.
And I know that she had just told me that she didn't, like, have any interest in the show, but I was like, here, have all of the buttons, all the pins, like, have a bunch of stuff. And she's like, well, the only caveat is that it's today and in an hour, which I'm like, I'm not doing anything, and I'm only dressed up as Pearl today. Why, yes. this is not a caveat at all. This is incredible.
Dude, you're lucky.
So, like, oh, it was amazing luck. It was spectacular luck. And so I like glide upon, you know, the clouds of angels to the place for the meet and greet. And as I'm in line, I'm now suddenly surrounded by other Steven Universe fans. And I'm not kidding. I have 300 Steven Universe buttons. So we're waiting for the Krueger to arrive. They had the regular show voice actors were finishing up their meet and greet, so I got to like be in the same room as them, which was neat. But you know, as the Steven Universe fans are gathering around, I was like, "Hey guys, does anyone want buttons?" So I'm passing those out, and some guy comes out from the back, behind where the panel of cast was going to be sitting. Yeah. And he was like, "I really like your costume. Can I take a photo for Cartoon Network?" I was like, "Yes, 100%. And he goes, "Actually, can we do a video?" I said, "Sure." So I wound up singing a song that Pearl had just gotten her first solo song, maybe a month earlier. So I wound up singing that song, and Cartoon Network then puts it on all of their social media, which was delightful. It was amazing.
I bet this was like the best day of your life.
Well, what made it better was then getting to meet the voice actors. I didn't get to meet Pearl. Pearl's voice actress wasn't there, but I did get to meet the voice actress of Amethyst, of Peridot.
I love Peridot.
And, oh, I know. But at the time, like, I didn't know how much I was going to love Peridot, so I was just like, ooh, squandered time. And I got to meet the voice of Greg Universe. And then at the end of the line was Queen Bey herself, Rebecca Sugar, creator of the show, signing autographs like everybody else. And so I had a friend make Pearl's spear, and he did an amazing job. It's a beautiful, beautiful spear. And so I go up to her and I'm like, "Rebecca, like, you are an inspiration. I really appreciate the message of not tolerance but acceptance that you are peddling in this show. It is incredible. I love everything about it. Will you sign my spear?" So I have an autographed spear, and she drew a picture of Pearl on the spear. It's just like, again, I'm telling you, this story was like layers upon layers upon layers of just like, it starts out strong and it ends strong. It was a good day.
I actually met a voice actor.
Oh, which one did you meet?
Steve Bloom.
You met Steve Bloom. Oh my God, I'm so jealous.
He's a really nice dude.
I talked to Steve Bloom.
He's a really nice dude. I did a Guillemot voice for him.
So chill.
Like I want to work with the dude if I become a voice actor, but it's hard to work with your idols, not because of personality difference, but because you don't want to look like the biggest idiot on the planet.
I mean, the good news is, statistically speaking, you are likely not going to be the biggest idiot that a voice acting celebrity has encountered. There's just you can't be that unlucky. But I hear your point. I
just don't want to embarrass myself. That's the point. But I also met Yuri Lorendal, the voice of sadly Sasuke from Naruto, and
oh, that's awesome.
He's a nice dude. He says he knows Sasuke's unlikable. Like, he knows his character's unlikable. Yeah. But he says it's just fun to play an unlikable character.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can tell you right now, all of the voice acting villains love their job.
I met his wife, Tara Plant. I also met Mary Elizabeth McGlenn. I'm trying to pronounce her name. She's the wife of Darren Norris, who is better known as Cosmo and Jorgen Von Strangle and Timmy's dad from Very Odd Bear.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it was a good day for me. And so I also wanted to tell you about a story I had about. See, one of the first questions I ask you is how to be social in a cosplay convention.
That is a delightful question.
Right, and you said just be yourself and try to control yourself, and The reason I asked that is because I kind of had a bad experience one time. It was my second convention.
Oh no, it was like an early convention to have a bad experience. We want it to be like, the 8th convention, so you're already hooked on conventions, and you're just, like, willing to be like, alright, the next one will be better.
Right.
So what happened?
Okay, so I'm a huge fan of Teen Titans. I love the show. And here's the thing. Back then, I thought Teen Titans Go was just, it's an okay show. Not great. And, yeah, we can all agree Teen Titans Go sucks. Like, it doesn't, it's not like, it's bad for, not because it's different, but it's bad because of how it's written, how it's acted, how everything is. So I wanted to make a videotape of fans saying we want the original show back, and I sent it to, like, either DC or the 5 original voice actors.
Right.
And
who I'm sure would agree with you.
And I accidentally annoyed a bunch of people by accident.
Right, and sometimes intent versus reality can be a hard thing at a convention, because at the end of the day, we are a bunch of nerds who come from all walks of life, and we have all sorts of different backgrounds. And we don't know what the other person is comfortable with. We're just kind of guessing.
Right. And
so sometimes luck of the draw, you guess right, and you make your best friend from that convention. Or conversely, glass half empty, you meet someone who is, like, easily triggered by a word you said where you had a great intent, but it wasn't a good match. And the reality is not everyone's going to like you. So
that's a hard thing to deal with.
Oh my god, it's so hard to deal with. I'm good with it right now in this moment on this particular day, but I'm sure like 20 minutes from now I'll be like, oh, but there was that one conversation I had with that one person, and I think they don't like me, and that is going to just be a rain cloud on my day today.
And I didn't know I was annoying people. That's like a flaw I dealt with my whole life. And then a dude told me, he was a nice guy.
Yeah.
Like, he said that people were saying things behind your back. They were calling you the crazy Teen Titans kid. And I broke down. I will admit, I cried. And I did not get mad at the dude. If I ever meet this dude again, I said, and if he does apologize for saying that stuff, I'm going to say to him, if you weren't going to say anything, somebody else was going to, and it was going to be absolutely worse.
I mean, honestly, at that point, because I've seen this sort of interaction at conventions before, and honestly, what I have seen a lot of the times is the person who is being talked to turns to like, oh, thank you for telling me. I didn't know I was coming on strong, and I really appreciate you giving me that heads up that I was bothering you. I'm sorry, and I'll tone it down. Thanks. When I've seen it, usually the person who's annoying is really been like, I didn't realize I was bothering you. Like, it wasn't that they were annoying. It's just that, oh, I didn't realize I was bothering you. I'm sorry. Like, I will peddle my wares elsewhere.
And
I mean, it's not like much like when you're in a car and someone beats their horn at you. It could mean anything at any moment. So I think it's good that you were able to allow that to be the opportunity for self-reflection, but not let it define who you are or how you approach your convention experience.
It's just that every time when I go to a convention, I gotta think about that. Because
right, it's another thing to think about.
Right, and it also does suck that I didn't mean to annoy those people. I just wanted to bring back something, and maybe next time, I'm not going to do this experiment ever again because it just brings up bad intent.
Right.
It's just...
Well, here, you're putting out media here. Let's pretend for a moment that the people who you might have potentially slighted are listening to your podcast. The floor is yours. What message do you have to say to them?
I'm sorry I did that. I didn't mean to do that stuff. I was just too enthusiastic, and I just couldn't control myself. And I think when you're a kid, when you want to bring back something, you gotta realize a video's not gonna bring it back. You gotta realize that there's other things bringing back a show can do. Money, voice acting, getting the right people, and I was just not doing it in a... And I'm also sorry I was pressuring you guys. I wasn't trying to hurt anybody. I just wanted to bring back somebody, but I think it obviously that my intents were good, but sadly I gotta live with this every day now. Not every day, but every time I go to a convention. And it hurts. A lot.
I think that they would forgive you. I honestly, many times people forget the weight of their words on other people. When you feel like you've had enough, you want to do a verbal pushback. And sometimes people can push others in a way that feels satisfactory to them, like, oh good, I'm in my safe spot. But sometimes the way that they've pushed back can impact more negatively than they intended. And I'm sure they'd tell you, it's okay, bro. It's okay.
I will admit, the next day, I was so miserable and so sad.
Oh.
Like, I wasn't, like, trying to commit suicide or anything. I was just...
No, but still, like, again, rain cloud on your day. No one wants to cause so much stress over something that is ultimately not as big a deal.
I didn't want to go to school because I was so miserable. And...
See, I can promise you right now, the people you were speaking to did not want to have that impact on your life. They did. And if they heard that, they would tell you it as well. Like, we're so sorry that is how things played out, and that's not how they would have wanted it to play out.
And
because enthusiasm is great.
But there's too much of it.
I don't ever want to, like, kick a puppy, because that's what it, like, oh my god, you're so enthusiastic. Like, let's tune the enthusiasm. Not step on it and eliminate it entirely.
And then I will admit that it sucks having a bad experience in a place that's full of awesomeness.
Right. I mean, hopefully you were able to still have a really good time at the convention, because as you know, there are so many.
I go to Otakon Vegas. That was Otakon Vegas 2014. I still go to Otakon every year, except 2016 because. But it's just that I'm afraid to see somebody else that I annoyed. And
I can promise you they will not remember that encounter. I don't genuinely believe in my heart that
they hold grudges
intent on their end was to cause that much concern. It was just to be like, hey man, you're bothering me. And that was it. Like, hey man, you're bothering me, please stop bothering me. Like, I'm sure that was the extent of the involvement they wanted to have with that. And I'm, like, any decent human being would say, like, oh Jesus, that, like, don't go in the opposite direction. Oh my god, no, we do not want you to cause this much anguish.
Right. And there's also another bad experience I had, but I don't want to tell you it in front of the world because it's sort of a secret. And
sorry, podcasters, this one will be private for later.
Alright. So, I also wanted to ask, do you have a favorite series? What are your favorite animes and cartoons?
Oh, man. Okay. Yes, I have a favorite series. I have a favorite a lot of things. It's really hard for me to deal in superlatives because I like a lot of things. For anime, I still love the classics. I'm still a big fan of Cowboy Bebop and FLCL. They will always be my faves. I will tell you this. I really did like Madoka. I really liked that nice twist on the magical girl concept. For TV shows, I love me cartoons a lot. Steven Universe, as I mentioned, is one of my favorite cartoons right now. I really enjoyed Gravity Falls and Over the Garden Wall. So if you're not already getting, I enjoy fantasy and sometimes like a bit of a dark comedy. For people acting in TV shows, I am over the moon for shows like Westworld. Don't hate me, I haven't seen Game of Thrones yet, but that's because I don't have like 60 hours to commit to watching television that's only going to make me want to make more costumes. It's just going to be a disaster. I'm like, but I don't have time. And then for video games, I'm a giant fan of playing turn-based combat games, so Pokemon is right up my alley. I don't love playing first-person shooter games, but I love watching them. So this works out well because my boyfriend loves playing them, and I love backseating them and solving like the thinky puzzles, which he'll solve on his own anyway, or like just like make commentary on the gameplay and watching the story. Because to me, a video game is like an interactive story and an interactive movie, and these days they really look like movies. So the top games that I have loved this year have been the PlayStation 4 games that I've been watching. So Horizon Zero Dawn, Persona 5, and Nier Automata have been like the top ones. I'm like so into them. So don't be surprised if in 2018 I cosplay from more of those games, because one of them I've already done a costume of.
Right. I actually suggested some characters to cosplay as. Remember?
Yes, that's right. You had a nice list. There's some good crossover of interests.
Like Shigo from Kim Possible.
That's right. And I gotta tell you, I'm not a stranger to doing full body paint, so it wouldn't be overly difficult.
Right. And there's also Miss Mad, aka Maddie from the Mega Man NT Warriors / Battle Network series.
That's right.
Sorry about those. It's just that I get so enthusiastic.
No need to apologize. I love taking suggestions. I've been trying to plan out my costume schedule, which is a fool's errand, because what will invariably happen is I will see some new show or some new game or whatnot that will totally throw off my plans. That being said, in December, before the new year, I started to make a list of one cosplay per month. And so far, I have a cosplay per month lined up as far as July.
Cool.
So in theory, I'm all spec'd out for like, and here's what I'm going to do by July. But as I'm sure you know, I can become very ADD about what I'm doing, and I can be like, oh, you know what? Instead of doing this, I'm going to do that. That sounds great.
Right. That's cool. Like, I think you can make not a lot of people cosplay as Maddie. Like, not. And that stinks. Because
Right. And, it's all about, like, what inspires you, though. So, people may not just be inspired by it yet.
Right. Want to know a fun fact?
For example, it's been no secret that I want to do a cosplay from the Disney movie Moana. But I don't want to cosplay Moana, or
you'll get accused as being a racist.
A couple of people asked me like if I'd consider cosplaying Tafiti, and I'm like, oh, awesome! Like that's a really good idea. Tafiti is the like life spirit that's covered in greenery and everything, and it would look really cool. I'm like, that's awesome. No, that's not the character that inspires me from that movie. The character that inspires me from the movie is Hey Hey the chicken. The dumb, derpy chicken. I'm like, that's what I want. Hey Hey. Oh, man, I saw that movie and I was like, man, that chicken is my spirit animal. I gotta cosplay it.
I you're also a fan of Dumbo, the shirt.
The Disney film?
No. The shirt you're wearing.
Oh, Dumbo.
Woo! I love Dumbo. He's
so podcasters. I'm wearing a Domo shirt. So
Dumbo
right
is
now,
if you don't
I'm
know
wearing a sweatshirt over it.
If you don't know who Dumbo is,
basically what you can see is eyes and the start of Domo's mouth.
Right. So here's what Dumbo is to everybody. It's a Japanese Nickelodeon show.
And ridiculous.
But fun.
It is fun. It's like a weird but fun show. I don't know that I would have purchased the shirt on my own, but because I'm like, yeah, it's fun. But a friend of mine bought me this shirt. She wasn't familiar with the show, but she saw the shirt and she was like, oh, this is like right up your alley. It's so cute. I was like, it is. It is up my alley, and it's wicked cute. So it was a birthday present from 100 years ago, which makes me like 100 and some odd years old.
All right. I also want. So, do you like voice acting?
Yeah, I mean, like I enjoy recognizing voice actors a lot. I have not had the pleasure of bringing this caramely voice to any sort of media, but I do enjoy keeping track of like other voice actors. I'm not the most knowledgeable with
I'm
the
knowledgeable
indie voice actors, but I know like the big names.
Right. Want to know who my favorite voice actor of all time is?
Sure.
It's Laura Jill Miller. She's the voice of Kari from Digimon. She's the voice of Coco from the English dub of Zatch Bell. She's
nice.
Juniper Lee from The Life and Time of Juniper Lee.
Oh, that show!
I love that show. It's
I'd say my favorite voice actor is Troy Baker.
Everybody loves Troy Baker.
He's like the boy next door, or like the down-home country boy. He's super dreamy, but that's secondary.
Right.
He liked his voice first. That he had eyes that looked like the sea after a storm is entirely unrelated.
Right. She also voiced Lisa in The Loud House. You should watch The Loud House.
I have not seen that.
It's about a kid with 10 sisters.
Oh, yay.
It's not easy.
No, it is not.
It's shockingly good. And so do you have any advice for people like who want to get into cosplay? Like maybe one advice?
Of course. So my biggest advice is to remember that this is cosplay, not surgery. I think that new cosplayers have this tendency to get overwhelmed quickly, or to worry about wanting their costume to be the very best, like no one ever was. But it's not a race. There's no finish line. There's no winning in that way. It's something to do because it's fun. So if you find that you're cosplaying and you're not having fun, then simply stop cosplaying. But if you are cosplaying, you're like, this is fun, but what's keeping me from having maximum fun is that I want to get better at it, then, let that be the fire under your butt to keep learning. But it's important to just keep in mind that at its core, it's a hobby. And like any hobby, you get people who are really good at it and enjoy every minute of it. You get people who are not so good at it, but enjoy every minute of it. You get people who are really good at it and hate every second of it. And you get people who are not so good at it and hate it and probably shouldn't be doing it in the first place. But at the end of the day, like, wherever you fall in that quad of spectrum, always keep in mind that, like piano lessons and learning how to skate, if it is not fun, don't do it anymore. If it is fun, keep doing it. Do that thing forever, because who doesn't like fun?
All right. So I got one more question, and we're gonna be done.
Sounds good.
Okay. So can you recommend a show for everybody?
Frankly, a lot of the shows that I've listed as my favorites, I would recommend. So I would strongly recommend Steven Universe to those who haven't seen it yet. Over the Garden Wall, another cartoon show, is, in my opinion, a universally, so it's like, safe for kids and adults, but it is a show that will take maybe 90 minutes of your time, but is just a beautiful piece of art. And then as a dark horse to all of this, movie that less people will have known, a movie called The Secret of Kells. It's an animated film, and it's another beautiful piece of artwork. It's a historically based, but also very fantasy Celtic. Those are like my top three. Like, oh, you got an afternoon, nothing to do, fill it with this. It's magic.
That's cool. I just wanted to say to our viewers, say hi to Minx and check out her channel on Facebook and DeviantArt, and just check her out. I hope you have a great day. Bye.
Bye, everyone.